This podcast was written and created by Avi Melamed, Middle East intelligence analyst and founder of the Inside the Middle East Institute.
Imagine standing on a brightly lit stage in front of thousands of expectant fans, and suddenly an object is thrown right at your feet.
Right.
And picking it up could end your career. But leaving it on the floor could also end your career. So what do you do?
Yeah, that's a terrible spot to be in.
Exactly. Today we're doing a deep dive into that exact kind of paralyzing moment. We're exploring the intense intersection of art and ideology in the Arab cultural sphere, and we're guided by an article from analyst Avi Melamed. And just to be really clear up front, as we discuss these highly charged events, involving Israel, Palestine, and Hezbollah, our goal is strictly to impartially report on Avi Melamed's analysis.
Right. We aren't endorsing any political viewpoints here.
Yeah, we are simply exploring the frameworks that he lays out.
And it is a really compelling framework to explore, honestly. Avi Melamed actually uses a specific, fairly recent incident at the Carthage Music Festival in Tunisia to illustrate this whole dynamic.
Okay.
So the Lebanese singer Alyssa was performing when a fan threw a Palestinian keffiyeh onto the stage.
Right, and the keffiyeh being the traditional black and white scarf that has, become this globally recognized symbol of Palestinian nationalism.
Yes, exactly. It's a highly potent symbol. So Alyssa picked it up, and she seemed momentarily unsure of what to do. And she decided not to wear it. And she just tossed it back into the crowd. Well, the reaction to that was incredibly swift.
Wow.
Yeah. Avi Melamed notes that Arabic language social media just immediately exploded. People accused her of disrespecting Palestinians and, insulting her Tunisian hosts.
Wait, politicians got involved too, didn't they?
Yeah. Politicians in Tunisia even demanded she be permanently banned from performing in the country.
Just for tossing a scarf back into the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a really severe reaction to just a brief moment of hesitation.
It is severe, but it really highlights Avi Melamed's central point.
Yeah.
Because the crowd didn't just see a singer in a scarf.
Right.
They immediately pulled up these quotes from a 2021 interview where she had expressed support for the idea of peace with all countries, and that included Israel.
Oh, I see. So that hesitation on stage was judged entirely through the lens of her past statements.
Exactly. Avi Melamed basically describes this as an inescapable triangle in this region. You have the artist, politics, and public opinion.
Well, if taking any physical action on stage is that risky, wouldn't the smartest career move be to just, keep your mouth shut? Like, absolute political silence seems like it would be the safest harbor.
You would definitely assume so. But Avi Melamed argues that silence is actually no protection at all.
Really?
Yeah, he points to Fairouz, who is this 92-year-old Lebanese cultural icon.
Oh, yeah, she's a legend.
She is. And throughout her decades-long career, she has maintained a famously strict public silence regarding Lebanese politics.
But let me guess, the political triangle still caught up with her anyway.
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
So in 2013, her son gave an interview claiming she supported Hezbollah and its leader, Hassan Nasrallah. And Hezbollah is a very powerful political and militant force in Lebanon, which makes it a massive cultural flashpoint. So naturally, Hezbollah supporters just seized on this claim to adopt her as their own.
Well, that hardly seems fair to Fairouz, though, because she didn't actually say anything herself. She was basically just drafted into a political faction by proxy.
Right. And to try and stop that drafting, her daughter actually issued a swift denial.
Oh, good.
She insisted the claims were completely baseless, and she was really attempting to protect her mother's lifelong neutrality.
Well, let me deduce how this played out, because in an environment that polarized, I imagine the anti-Hezbollah factions took that denial as absolute proof that she was secretly on their side.
That is precisely how Avi Melamed describes the fallout. The public simply used her silence as this blank canvas to project their own political desires.
Wow.
So in a highly charged environment, the public assigns meaning to the refusal to act just as aggressively as they do to an actual action.
So if an artist can't win by staying quiet, what happens if they just lean into it? Give the audience exactly the political theater they're demanding.
Well, Avi Melamed actually provides a historical contrast for that exact scenario. He looks back to 1986 at another Tunisian music festival.
Yeah.
The Lebanese artist Marcel Khalif took the stage, and he just completely wrapped himself in a Palestinian flag.
I assume the crowd didn't demand he be banned for that.
Far from it. I mean, the applause was just thunderous. So Avi Melamed draws a very stark conclusion here, which is that gestures that perfectly mirror the prevailing public sentiment are rewarded with immense popularity.
Right, and career security.
Exactly. But any ambiguity, like Alyssa's hesitation, is treated as a violation and punished.
But why is that binary so rigid? Because, I mean, we see celebrity cancel culture in lots of countries, right? Where fans expect their favorite pop stars to post the right infographic or whatever. But this feels much more absolute.
It does. And to explain the mechanics behind that rigidity, Avi Melamed brings in the analysis of Egyptian film critic Tarek al-Shanawi.
Oh, interesting. What does he say?
So al-Shanawi explains that the public feels a deep sense of ownership over famous figures. Fans demand that artists perfectly reflect their ideology, especially on issues of national consensus.
So attempting to maintain professional distance isn't seen as neutral.
No, not at all. It is often viewed as treason or even evidence that the artist is like a foreign agent.
And I'd imagine beyond the fans, there are the governments to consider too.
Yes, exactly. Al-Shanawi points out that regimes often use these artists as tools for soft power.
Right.
So artists have to constantly navigate their relationship with political authorities just to keep their platform.
Otherwise, they risk losing their livelihoods to competing artists who are, willing to play the game.
Exactly.
It sounds like walking a tightrope where the audience and the government are both actively shaking the net. Like, you align with the authorities to survive in the industry, and you pander to the crowd to keep your ticket sales.
That really captures Avi Melamed's ultimate thesis here. The idea that art and politics can exist in these separate, polite spheres simply doesn't hold up to reality.
Right.
The relationship is intimate, complicated, and entirely unavoidable.
Which really leaves us with a compelling question. I mean, think about the artists you listen to and the pressures they face from public opinion or corporate powers. Because if an artist's survival depends entirely on appeasing the crowd's expectations and navigating those pressures, can popular art ever truly challenge the status quo? Or is it doomed to merely echo it?
This podcast is made possible by supporters like you. ITME is an independent nonprofit institute committed to apolitical, intelligence-based Middle East education.
To learn more or to support our work, visit our website www.insidethemiddle-east.com.